Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest God of War Ultimate Apocalypse cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 2 vs 2 on Marconia. Playing as the Demon Hunters on Team 1, we've got Malcador. And we have got Amphibia playing as the Chaos Space Marines. So Team 2 playing as the Space Marines, we've got Critter 256. And we've got Grid Panther playing as the Imperial Guard. So look at this, it's almost a theme. We've got the Imperial Guard and the Space Marines, one-bow comboing as the God Emperor intended. And we've got the Chaos Space Marines potentially corrupting the Demon Hunters. I do know that there is a faction within the Demon Hunters that kind of, you know, they get a little bit too close to the, for comfort with the demony people. You know, maybe it's like, oh, well, we're using demons, but we're using them for good. And so maybe they've fallen to the force of chaos, and now they're up with the bad men doing some bad things. So we go, it's a theme, and I'm going to stick with it. So a little story before we start this cast, I must say. So the reason why we're not doing the revamped campaign playthrough today is because work has been an absolute doozy, and my goodness, my gracious, absolutely shattered. So I thought, hey, I'll just record a normal game. Believe it or not, recording a cast is a lot easier on my brain than actually doing a playthrough. There's reasons for that, but it'll go too long into explaining. I then record a game, that takes a while to do, and guess which silly bugger decided to not switch the microphone on? So I've now got to redo another game, and hope that I forget about the game that I just recorded just now, with no microphone on, in the hopes that it's as exciting. So, long story short, as advice to any of you who want to make videos in the future, turn your microphone on. Really good advice there. Anyway, the game is afoot. Obviously, heavy bolter turret being placed in betwixt the critical location and strategic point. Chaos Space Marines are smashing their way through some scouts. The scouts are doing their damned bestest to hold their own here. It does seem that the Chaos Space Marines are dressed as salamanders there. At least they've got the colour scheme and the flames for it. So maybe some fallen Sallys. Would be very sad indeed. We've got some regular old stormtroopers and the elite stormtroopers trying to embezzle the Imperial conscripts, but they managed to capture that critical location. Imperial Guard already with a medic to keep them safe and sound. Fighting in that heavy cover as well though, but they've got the numbers for it. Glorious bayonet charge from the conscripts to keep the elites busy while the regular guardsmen open fire. Here comes Idris Elba, his powerful power sword, although using it as a mighty staff. Let's now use his sword, Supreme Lord. But he's his own man. He does what he wants when he wants, knocking everyone around. Even the conscripts are double guessing themselves, charging in glorious hand-to-hand combat. Now also have that Imperial icon, or icon of purification, should I call it, from a distance, zapping these guys. Got the General, who doesn't have access to any friends, but he can join a squad in Ultimate Apocalypse. Also a bit of a beefier, madder lad. Better at taking people on in close combat kind of shenanigans. Also quite handy in a ranged stance as well, as you would obviously normally attach him to something. There's a large engagement going on. So tempting to chase around Idris Elba, but he's too fast, too furious. Can't keep on top of him. And just look at the amount of guardsmen that are on the field at the moment. But while that engagement is going on, Chaos Space Marines are running afoul into Critter's base. They'll attempt to get some weapon servitors, as at the moment it's just scouts with shotguns, which I'm not sure what you're thinking of, Critter. I don't think shotguns... I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough if he was playing against, I don't know, like Tyranids or something, and you wanted to knock back Lictors or anything like that, but against Chaos Space Marines, I don't think it's helping you at all. Got this glorious last stand in the corner from the scouts being backed into a corner by the cultists. All these infiltrated lads rendered moot by the glowing eyes of the cultists, but standing a bit away from them, we were able to get some shots off, but out of range of the combat shotguns. Ah, there we go. Now we're within range. And that should help you do a bit more damage, but standing in heavy cover as well. Weapon servitors, all armed with heavy bolters, so if they can snag out these cultists before they reach close combat, bringing them down very quickly, but the reinforcement rate is just as quick. Surprised that the cultists aren't engaging in close combat though. This is not the engagement that they're going to win. There we go, the unbridled rage of lobotomized individuals kills all those cultists. Some regular old servitors in the background. Umming and ahhing. What would be a better life as a servitor? Would you prefer to be a maintenance servitor or a weapon servitor? A weapon servitor, obviously, you're going to die quicker. And servitors, you probably get to live longer, but like, is it a life worth living? Here comes the Imperial Guard coming in the defense of their Space Marine comrades. The remaining cultists are attempting to come in to spot those scouts, have been intercepted and chased back. Often it's the Space Marines coming to the Guard's defence, but every now and then the regular man comes in to save the super soldier. And lots of heavy bolters in the form of these listing posts and the turret firing at them as they wander back home. Almost getting a full squad wipe there, but one man surviving to tell the tale of the time they went up against the Guard and the Space Marines. Well, field command been placed over here. Would probably like to see the field command maybe somewhere around here, just so we're able to protect this outermost listing post, which is fun because that's a phrase that rhymes. It's got the scholars, swift and nimble, good in close combat. Listing post though taking a little bit of a while to break down, considering that no one here has got anti-building weapons, but listing posts are probably the easiest building to take down, which makes sense in a game like this. Imperial Guard now running forward to defend their own place. They're just being the everyman. Grenade been thrown in, knocking everyone around. Also the Guardsmen being inspired by that general. Or someone is inspiring them at the very least. And just flame and fire everywhere. Who are you firing at? Oh, the conscripts that are charged into close combat. Fair enough. And just, I mean, it's great though, that one squad of conscripts able to keep these guys aback. Oh no, you've got two squads of conscripts going in. Can't really defend against men who don't value their own lives. Over, off in the distance, Space Marines versus Chaos. And it's just servitors. Who needs the Adeptus Astartes? It's just a training simulation for the scouts at this point. Listing post been shot up, unable to really fire at the scouts due to their infiltration. And the weapon servitors are out of range of the listing post, so no defensive capacity for that building. Heavy cover once again occupied, and they just need to burn their way through these conscripts. I think flamers are definitely the way forward for this. Got a beautiful line of tank traps. Well, that does mean that the Imperial Guard now can't run over this way. They are trapped where they are. They've got their sandbanks, they've got their smoke, but it's only temporary, whereas the heavy cover here is forever and ever. Amen. Some guys attempt to run forward, but get burnt to a crisp. And the Imperial Guard deciding this is not a happy situation. Oh, and Blooming Grid Panther is actually going to build up the tank traps. You would normally see people just basically throw a load down but not bother building them up, but no, he's going to make sure they're all up and at him. Although we do have not quadruple. What is the quadruple version of 5? Centuple? Quintuple? This is bad. I teach maths. I should know this. Whatever you do, don't tell my employer that I don't actually know anything about maths. It's all a ruse. I just pretend to know things, faking it till I make it. Like I do in everything, really. I don't know anything about Dawn of War. I'm all AI. I'm actually just part of the simulation. I'm all part of the algorithm. I'm the ghost of Susan Wojcicki. Anyway, yeah, I'm actually really surprised at how efficient these weapon servitors and scout combo is being. We do have a full squad of attack bikes though. You normally only see one of them, but a full squadron of them. Quite impressive. And the tank traps have been busted wide open. Field command has been finished. But yeah, like I say, in this little nook, I'm not sure what the function is. Is it just to keep this listing post in the middle safe? It is the only relic on the map, so definitely worth holding on to. But the battle lines have been drawn. No one's yet going to push forward. I mean, we do have this Stalker AA edging forward. But will the Chaos Space Marines react to this? They're going to get a couple of Chaos Vindicators. Really good. Breaks apart the weapon servitors very quickly. And also, you can attack ground, so even the infiltrated scouts will be doing much. Here comes the Chaos attack bikes. They know roughly where the scouts are, so they can just start spinning around if they want to. There we go. Big old spin, but actually spinning on top of those weapon servitors. Although when they get knocked over, they don't seem to really spend that much time on the ground. So those attack bikes being a bit of a shite option there. There's the Chaos Vindicator. Scouts have been temporarily revealed at the moment. Got the Havocs with the heavy bolters. Now got a Hellhound as well. And what was a really strong start for the Chaos Space Marines have now starting to struggle quite a lot. Here comes double Purgation Hellfire Dreadnoughts, double Plasma Cannons. Also got a missile launcher with them as well, so those tanks will be saying no thanks. We've also got a huge push. Lots of fire, lots of flames. I absolutely love to see it. The fires from the warp as they cackle with their Chaos Space Marine allies. As force the regular old Space Marines back. Might potentially get these guardsmen down as well. Have them outnumbered, but they've also got that heavy bolter to fall back to. There's now also upgrade itself with like a little Gatling gun upgrade, so even more damage towards infantry as well. I wish I could tell you what's going on in the middle here, but it's all fire and smoke at the moment. The general smack bang in the middle has got no moral, or morale even. Trying to hold the line and falling back. Imperial Guard could really do some tanks at the moment. Have you got any tanks on the go? You do, just build all your stuff over here. So Hellhound to assist the Space Marines. I mean, Space Marines that now have Thunderfire Cannons joining the Weapon Servitors. So huge fights going on across the map. Let me see if I can try and get both of them in one go. This is what Ultimate Apocalypse is all about. Just absolute map-wide chaos going on. Elite Stormtroopers have finally been pushed back by these double turret emplacements and the regular boys. Special weapon squads also with their grenade launcher Inferno grenades. Seems that fire is the watchword of the day. Hellhounds snagging the Havoc Marines. Not got any weapon upgrades at the moment. Don't really need them if the Purgation Hellfire Dreadnoughts are doing their thing. The weapon turret on the ridge has been taken down. Thunderfire Cannons doing the job. Slowly but surely against the Hellfire Dreadnoughts. Got to be careful though, as they are quite fragile. Devastator Marines not quite able to get in range of any of their... I mean, I suppose they could go for a multi-melter, but again, that means that they've got to go in a little bit closer than they would probably like. Just relying on these Hellhounds to cause some issues with these Chaos Vindicators. Space Marines. Oh, the Space Marines, right, they've gone for their missile launchers, right, so you are the anti-vehicle option for them. Plenty of cultists, plenty of Havocs on the back lines there. Scouts have been taken care of. One last one standing. Good lord, he's taking a fair bit of damage, isn't he? Expect him to die a lot quicker, but there we go. Listing post now under siege from Chaos Dreadnought with a twin-linked las cannon. So on a higher tier... I mean, what is that? If I can use these as comparisons. So, las cannons are usually, I think, tier 2/3. So that's that. We do have a Landspeeder Tempest flying on high with frag missiles. So, yes, really relying on those tacticals and the Thunderfire Cannons to be the anti-vehicle option. Everything else is taking care of the chaff at the moment. Got a Scout Squad manoeuvring around. And this Chaos Dreadnought doing a little bit of a 180, thinking about going in, but then deciding against it. Do have another push from the Imperial Guardsmen, the Special Weapons teams, leading that charge, although I don't know if that's a efficient way of spending them, as they are quite expensive at 40 blue and 10 green. I would assume that we would still have some conscripts on the go, just because they're always useful regardless of what stage the game is in. These Stormtroopers soon to be sent screaming into the next life. In fiery pain, they managed to secure this heavy cover as well. This post over here attempting to be rebuilt, but all those grenade launchers not allowing this archivist to rebuild anything. Over here, Space Marines are moving forward. Chaos Space Marines activating their warpish abilities to increase the damage that they do. And all Space Marines have to do is just wait for that ability to fizzle out. And there we go. Wonderful little bit of patience from Critter 256 there. Amphibia has got... He's still got those double Chaos Vindicators, if he can just get them focused on this little section of Astartes, that would do them a world of good. I mean, yeah, the Chaos Vindicators are focusing on the tanks, whereas the Chaos Dreadnoughts... I mean, you've got the... Oh, I suppose you've got the autocannon now. I thought you had the las cannons for a second. A swift, mobile force of Sentinel Scout Walkers with their missile launchers should be able to really do some damage to these vehicles there. Space Marines fall back. Vindicator takes down. Grid Panther telling his friend to push, push, push. Like a mother in a birthing ward. Got those Purgation Hellfire Dreadnoughts to rejoin the Chaos side of things. See if they can shoot down these Sentinels. Sentinels with their missile launchers do a lot of damage to vehicles, but they can't take it themselves. Need to make sure they stay out of the danger zone. And the Demon Hunters are now making good use of their drop podding or deep striking capabilities. That's the one huge advantage that that faction has. Imperial Guard once again being inspired by the General. Or someone anyway. And a beautiful concave from these Space Marines. Devastators focusing on the Havocs. Tacticals on the Dreadnoughts. Thunderfire Cannon with a couple of Servitors still alive against all the odds. And I'm not sure if the Chaos Space Marines have gone for their health upgrades, as they don't have any markers to indicate that, but I do know that the Space Marines have, on account of their shiny little shoulder pads. And it's just big chunky boys slowly whittling each other down. No one's gone for any Apothecaries or any Chaos Icons. Sacrificial Circle and a Sacred Artifact is needed for the respective sides. But go for them, and your firing lines of infantry have become really difficult to manhandle down. Especially if you get one of the Apothecaries inside your squad just by reinforcing them inside your squad as you would normally, but then also getting an extra one and popping in there. That's double Apothecaries for double the joy. Somehow, somewhere, I suppose it's the Hellfire Dreadnoughts that the Imperial Guard are really struggling to deal with. Chaos are pushing forward. Vindicator has been repaired by the Heretics. There are 4 of them there. Little boy band doing what they can. Squad of Renegades now, so Chaos has decided to swap out their regular cultists for Renegades. So can't get them anymore, but Renegades are more Imperial Guard-esque and also able to get those Murtars, which should help them. 1 break morale and 2 knock guys about. Oh, it doesn't seem to actually knock them about at all. Okay, alright. Or was that a duff one? Yeah, no, it doesn't seem to be knocking them down at all. Either way, AoE damage, best thing for morale. Guess Vindicator firing away, but actually not doing as much damage as you'd be thinking against these guys. Here comes a Damocles. If you please. General scanning allows you to see further afield, although here comes the smoke from the Chaos Space Marines. And what are you firing at? Oh, the Sentinels, they've come around the side. But against all of this, in a straight-up firefight, they won't win. They need to be done in a more flanking kind of formation. Yeah, that smoke keeping everyone alive and reducing the overall incoming range damage. But now we've got the Imperial Guard moving around that flank. Definitely need the Demon Hunters to do something to prevent that. Does seem like Grid Panther and Critter 256 are working a bit more lock, step and barrel together. And with these Dreadnoughts now going for exclusively las cannons against this primarily infantry force. A lot, yeah, because they've got las cannons and missile launchers. I mean, don't get me wrong, they'll still do some damage, but not the optimal amount. You really want them to go for plasma cannons, but I imagine that they were more concerned with those Sentinel Walkers. Space Marines going in. Got Space Marines jumping inside the heavy cover. Smoke everywhere, fire everywhere as well. Not the easiest game to cast, I'll be honest, boys and girls. Oh, when there's just so much one going on and so many visual effects I can't... I mean, look at these guys just running through the fire. And the absolute heroes that they are. Space Marines they've still got their numbers. Quite a sizable amount of men now decapping the strategic point. I do an economy check, but there's just too much going on. I don't want to miss anything, if possible. I've got some regular Hellfire Dreadnoughts now going for the plasma cannons, pushing to the Imperial Guard. If the Demon Hunters can distract the Imperial Guard a little bit, that might give the Chaos Space Marines a little bit of space to regain their footing. Lost listing post over here, and we're actually going to really quickly look at the Chaos Space Marine side of things. Their economy is relatively healthy. I mean, not for Ultimate Apocalypse standards, but yeah, because I mean, these guys cost 100. I hate these little spikes. I can't see what they're 100, 120, and 20 for Havoc Marines. And it's just Havoc Marines, actually. So they can't really afford to lose much. Now we've got the Dreadnoughts moving around on the left flank. One goes down. Sentinel Scout Walkers, the unsung heroes really in this engagement at the moment. Attempting to blast up the Loyalist Space Marines with their weapons, but not being able to survive as long as they'd like for the constant missile fire coming in. Although the threat of the Dreadnoughts has managed to push the Space Marines back. Could do with a Cultist Squad just to cap the strategic points as well. Also got a bodyguard, all with plasma guns. Really just being a pain for the guard over there. Here comes some Grey Knight Terminators from Malcador. And Grey Knight Terminators are just... so they're practically relic units in their own right, really. I mean, where did you go? You've gone back here. Reinforcement cost is 280 and 80. It's super duper expensive, but my goodness. If you can get them in a good position and support them right, absolutely unstoppable. We've seen these guys as well just take on blooming Terminators. Not Terminators, sorry, Titans. Just by getting into close combat, boofing them down by the ankles. Also got the Grey Knight Brotherhood champion. He's got a shield, he's got a hammer. It's to bonk everyone. They teleport right in the middle of everyone, forcing fire away from the Havocs. If the Havocs can get into a good firing position now. I mean, the Loyalist side showing a lot of teamwork, but now it's the forces of Chaos are working so very well together. Sorry. The Grey Knight Terminators breaking up the soft Imperial Guard troops, while also getting on top of the Loyalist Devastator Marines, which is not the kind of engagement they want to be in. They want to be firing their guns, but they've also gone for a load of las guns, which isn't helping them in this situation at all. Comes some Grey Knight Purifiers. I imagine the economy for the Demon Hunters, the later the game goes on, the better their economy is, just because of their affordable housing. Very slow burn is the Demon Hunters in Ultimate Apocalypse, but towards the late game they become even stronger than you could possibly imagine. The Stormtroopers still holding the line, but I mean, they're not really. That's not where the mainstay of combat is happening. If the Force of Chaos can get a good handle on this combat and start capturing the things in the middle, get their economy back in good stead, maybe also acquire this relic as well, I'll massively put the game on their side for now. Grey Knights are breaking down the turret emplacements. Also Whirlwind Mark 1 getting a taste of the Fury. And what are you? You are just magic. Venerable Dreadnought for Malcador is inside the Loyalist side, and they will need to take him out. But Venerable Dreadnought, I mean, look at the speed of him and the amount of damage that they'll be able to bring to the table. He's going to go straight for the base. And Malcador is actually... oh, right, you've gone for loads. Oh, right, nice one. For a second, I thought he was still on 1 HQ. Comes a whole fleet of basilisks, but now being spotted. But oh dear, the worst possible time to be spotted. These guys could just keep on top of them, and even when they're trying to drive away, those melee attacks will be hitting at least some of the time. Venerable Dreadnought being joined by another Venerable Dreadnought. Sternguard veterans with their multi-melters, but being engaged in close combat. Not doing anything for them. Also, vibing with some glitter. Sternguard veterans being called in through the... You have a deep... Yeah, you've got an orbital relay. But at this point, it's just throw as many dreadnoughts at the problem and see what sticks. Over here, the Imperial Guard are massing in number, but a lot of them are Imperial Guard conscripts. I mean, are they just going to push through sheer weight of numbers? I mean, this bodyguard squad is literally bodyguarding the whole base at the moment. Been holding on for dear life and limb for the longest of times. It might potentially get space to be played out. I mean, it's looking a bit dire. It's never a good situation when you've got basically unlimited Venerable Dreadnoughts constantly being thrown down. Grey Knight Terminators as well, also being a right old nuisance. Basilisks one by one are being taken care of. But that being said, the Grey Knight Terminators are basically firing at something that won't have much of an impact in the fight going on over here. I don't think that the Venerable Dreadnoughts have got the DPS required to stop the sheer amount of Space Marines that are coming out of the base. How are you doing for economy at the moment? The blooming critter is absolutely laughing with economy. He could play this game all day long. Do you want Sternguard veterans? He can give you Sternguard veterans. And plenty more to boot. He just needs to run around enough until he's got enough space and then start firing. Grenass are bashing the stronghold there. He's going to go for tier 3/4. Oh dear, and the Chaos Space Marines. I completely forgot that these guys were in the game for a moment. So once again, it's going to come down to, will the Imperial Guard come to rescue them? Although rescue is probably like a mean term. I don't mean as in like Critter 256 played a bit of a naff game and it requires rescuing again. It's just the way that it's kind of folded out here. Without the Space Marines holding on to the Chaos Space Marine side of things. Oh no, but oh dear, but if he loses the stronghold, it'll be sent all the way back to lower tiers. Might be a way of just cancelling this and trying to take up another stronghold instead. I would also re-give you 1,000 blue and 1,000 green. It does manage to get it back. But just unlimited Venerable Dreadnoughts. Also Havoc Marines. I assume you've gone for some nergly stuff, as you were glowing green with badness and sadness. Is a Vanguard Veterans close combat specialist, but against the Grey Knight Terminators, don't know about that. Was that a Earthshaker Barrage? Oh, with one Basilisk remaining. Throws down a huge boom. Killing a fair few Havocs in the process. These guys over here as well. Oh, you're poisoned. What? Okay, maybe it's not a Nurgle thing. Why are you being poisoned then? What effect is that signifying? Chemical weapons, maybe? I don't know. Either way, Imperial Guard are attempting to break for this one Venerable Dreadnought, whereas the rest of them they're just running rampant over everything. Mind you, the Space Marines still have one more stronghold to go for, and he will be upgrading that as best he can. What a solid line of Space Marines that have now been brought down to just a few stragglers. That late game Demon Hunter is just really difficult to deal with. This should, though, in theory, balance things out. Double Lehman Russes, double Sentinel Scout Walkers. Venerable Dreadnoughts have got 9,600 health, as well as all the glowy armor kind of stuff going on. There's a considerable amount of effort to take them on. Grey Knight Terminators still out and about. Although we are now getting some more Space Marines coming forth. One Venerable Dreadnought almost being wiped out. I mean, it takes so long to kill one that by the time you've killed one, just another one spawns forth, doesn't it? But like this, are going to stand on the ridge, and that will keep them a distance away from the Dreadnought. Dreadnought's going to turn its attention to the Plasma Generator, see if they can knock out the last of the green incoming money, but not quite. Space Marine potentially going to stabilise here. Now got basically unlimited Lehman Russes now as well. Imperial Guard, how is your economy doing? Yes, your economy is mighty fine. You can bring out the big guns now that the Demon Hunters have spent all their Venerable Dreadnoughts, more or less. which will soon go down. Done a mighty fine job against Space Marines, making their economy a little bit worse for wear, but you've traded one strong Space Marine army for a really strong Imperial Guard army. But I would argue that the Imperial Guard have got a lot more bounce back ability in the form of their relatively cheap tanks and expendable conscripts. Rebel Dreadnoughts and also the Grey Knight Terminators breaking down all this stuff over here. We've got some more deep striking shenanigans. Whose side are you on? You are the Space Marines. Stern Guard veterans. Oh, right, so you jumped inside the orbital relay just to retreat onto better footing. And dear oh dear, these Terminators just refuse to die, no matter how much you fire at them. And now the Venerable Dreadnoughts have caught wind of the Imperial Guard side of things. Terminators inside the Chaos, the Loyalist Marines base as well. Havocs are just there. Now also going to get some missile launchers to help them break down the Lehman Russ battle tanks. I've got 4 Grey Knights. Have you spent all your money on stuff? No, you've still got a little bit more left, but if you're going to constantly reinforce the Grey Knights, that money will fall down pretty quickly. Oh, you could always, I suppose you could always just buy more, can't you? There we go, look at that, just there was 1,000 plus blue money in there, and now it's quickly gone down. So reinforcing these Grey Knights is going to be quite a difficult situation if this engagement goes on for any more lengths of times. Potential squad wipe going on here. On the right hand side, left hand side, also similar kind of scenario. Space Marines just move out of that heavy cover just to allow the Grey Knights to take the maximum amount of damage. Stronghold about to go down. Well, not about to go down, but it's next on the shit list. Are the Space Marines rebuilding anywhere else? Definitely are not at the moment. Do you have the money for a new HQ? You've got one over there. You've got one here. Got some Space Marines running right from the middle of the Imperial Guard's base. Trying to stay away from those Terminators. But it seems that no matter what kind of firepower the Loyalist factions throw at these guys, it's just not working in their favour at the moment. I mean, they've cleared out that Venerable Dreadnought. They've almost cleared out these Grey Knights, but then just more coming from the warp. Basilisk over here being boofed from both directions. Now a Thunder Laser Destroyer tank for any vehicles that come their way. Oh, just have mercy. It just won't stop at all. Space Marines giving a donation, I assume. Oh no, receiving a donation. So they're going to rebuild just to keep them in the game. We've got a very limited army at the moment. Not sure where your army actually is. Oh, right, it's over here. Drawing those Grey Knights towards them. Will they get a squad wipe? Definitely need to keep the Stern Guard veteran open, just because they won't be able to replace him for a fair length of time. But the Dreadnoughts are down. Terminators are potentially being knocked out. Oh, here comes another Venerable Dreadnought. But the Imperial Guard now coming out with a... What are you? You are a Stormlord. So primarily anti-infantry. Also got the Cascan Airborne veterans. Take out the Havoc Marines. And where are the majority of the Chaos things going at the moment? We haven't seen that much in the way of Chaos yet. To be fair, if Chaos was bringing in a load of fighting forces, this game would have been probably over a little bit longer. Probably been over a little while ago, sorry. But that being said, aesthetically and narratively, this is just fun. Can just these unlimited Terminators just throw as many models as they can until they eventually break through. I mean, every moment that passes, the Space Marines and the Guard are losing ground. just Devastators and their Stern Guards with plasma guns almost bouncing off the arm of those Terminators. How's the Stormlord doing? He's not doing very well, is he? Now we've got some blooming souls coming forward, doing damage to everyone. Some psychic mischief from the Terminators, I imagine. Got some very brave conscripts using their las guns against them. Good lord. There was a base roundabouts here and roundabouts here, and it's looking a lot more lackluster than it did before. I do like how Malcador here isn't trying to focus down the field commands at the moment. He's attempting to break up all the production buildings, so even if the Imperial Guard do have a sizable economy, they won't be able to recruit anything of worth. What are the Chaos Space Marines actually doing? What's your plan? You are right, okay, so you've been saving up money to get these redonkulously strong possessed Marines. Just under 500 blue. Stupidly expensive. The F-Shaker platforms, which are being sent back to the scrap heap. And some possessed Marines now speeding across the battlefield, using their spaghetti noodle hands to slap people upside the head. Imperial Guard about to lose their Mars pattern command as everything just turns to ash in their mouth. Do you have a regular old Baneblade there? Would have probably preferred to have seen a Baneblade before the Stormlord, to be fair. I might have done more against the Grey Knight Terminators, but we're going to fight them off. Can the Demon Hunters continue this? Confirmed. They can, I guess. Be really careful there. If they lose what they have on at the moment. I'm going to watch from the Imperial Guard side of things, otherwise we won't be able to see those airborne veterans. Yeah, they can't replace everything that they've lost so far. Over here, they've stabilised. If they could fend this off, they do have the army composition to start pushing back on things. It's just, do they have it within them? Can they pull that little bit extra out? Yeah, because now at the moment all the fighting is going on in one direction. It's not like as if we've got to fight on multiple fronts, which is, I think, one thing that's really the Imperial Guard and Space Marines have struggled with, is the fact that it's not just like one enemy, solid line, fight forward. It's happening everywhere at the same time. Who do you prioritise? Field command about to go down. Can they save it? It is an auto repair. Now that's down. Got the stronghold over here. We've still got field command. Oh, we've got two. Three, actually. But Grid Panther, he says GG. Realistically, what else can you do? And that was a really slow, really grindy kind of defeat there. I mean, yeah, so it's a really strong opening from the Imperial Guard and Space Marines. Yeah, Space Marines got pushed all the way back, but once they got the weapon servitors and the Thunderfire cannons and lovely flanking manoeuvres with the Sentinel Walkers from the Imperial Guard, that looked like it was going to be a really serious time for the Chaos Space Marines. But then just the Demon Hunters got to that position where they were able to say, right, okay, we're just going to throw things at you until we win. There's no fancy strategies going on here. It's just, here's our best Dreadnought. Here's our, well, not their best infantry, but definitely one of their best infantry units. And we're just going to throw them at you. And if you kill them, we'll just throw more at you until eventually we push through all the way and destroy everything. So there we go. So cheers, Grid Panther, for sending that game into the Discord. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week. And there's also Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. My name's been Mr. Landshark. Apologies always never short. Now, see you in a bit. Peace.